You may be feeling like many others where you're running a financial treadmill. You have a good job, you make good money, you're getting raises and bonuses, but those seem to go a lot less far than they used to. And there's actually a place where you can step off that treadmill and live comfortably. And I believe that the answer to that may be a move to South Dakota, the Sioux Falls, South Dakota area specifically. I'm Julie Roth, a local realtor, and I've been helping families relocate to South Dakota for over 7 years. And over that time, I have seen the population of Sioux Falls grow like crazy. We've actually grown by over 22% since 2000. And today I'm going to show you exactly why people are willing to brave the cold. You'll want to check out the relocation guide. I've linked it in the description below. It's going to give you some ideas of what it looks like to make a relocation to the Sioux Falls, South Dakota area. So here's the thing. Most people think about South Dakota and they think about cold weather, open spaces, maybe buffaloes and Mount Rushmore, but really there's more to the story than that. And honestly, the cold is only a very small portion. So if you're willing to bundle up, you can really benefit from a move to South Dakota. And here's some fascinating facts. We were actually ranked 9th in Atlas Vans with people moving out of the state of South Dakota. So yes, our snowbirds are definitely leaving and there's definitely job opportunities elsewhere, but we've also seen over 170,000 people join the Sioux Falls, South Dakota area in the last 26 years, which is wild growth. Did you know that South Dakota is one of 7 states that have 0 income tax? So if you make $75,000 a year in Minnesota, you're actually paying about $4,000 in income taxes. In California, it's $5,000 a year in income taxes. So what does that mean to you? That could mean an extra $300 or $400 in your pocket every single month. Do you think that could make a difference? And it's not just income tax. We also have no corporate income tax, no inheritance tax, and no estate sale tax. For retirees, this is actually huge. Your Social Security, not taxed. Your 401k withdrawals, not taxed at a state level. Your pension is not taxed. But here's where it gets really interesting. And this is something your financial planner probably doesn't talk about. And it's the fact that the money that you save with taxes actually goes further here. Our affordability in South Dakota makes a huge difference. Homes are more affordable, our cost of living is lower, and you have less that you're spending in your day-to-day commute. Let's talk stats for a minute, because according to 2025 data, South Dakota's cost of living is 10.7% below the national average. The median home price is right around $312,000 to $320,000, compared to $428,000 nationally. Our average rents are also lower, averaging right around $1,000 to $1,200 versus the $1,600 we're seeing nationally. So when you combine the tax savings, the lower cost of living, you're not just saving a little money. You're potentially saving tens of thousands of dollars every single year. Also, if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, South Dakota is practically rolling out the red carpet for you with business incentives and open doors to all entrepreneurs and business owners. We're highly ranked in the nation. We're actually ranked 4th best state in business in 2025. We were also ranked 2nd in the entire country for business friendliness. We're awfully friendly here in South Dakota. A few things to note is that creating an LLC in South Dakota is incredibly easy and affordable. It's only $150. No corporate income tax means more money to invest back into your business. And our business survival rate is over 74%, one of the highest in the nation. Our state offers grants, workforce programs, accessible financing, plus our location puts us within a day's drive of almost any major market area in the Midwest. Here, they seem to keep more of the money that they earn, grow faster, and aren't drowning in the red tape that seems to follow people around in other states. In South Dakota, you're definitely going to feel that this feels different. When you actually look at what life costs like here, versus what people earn, it's wild. The median household income in South Dakota is actually $74,000 annually. MIT calculates that single adult needs about $41,000 a year to live comfortably here in South Dakota. That's actually a big bit of breathing room in your budget. Let's break this down to what it looks like in real life. An average 1-bedroom apartment is around $1,000 a month. 2 bedrooms between $1,000 and $1,200. Compare that to major metro areas where you're paying over $2,000 to $3,000 a month for the same exact place. Gas prices are definitely lower here as well. They're under $3 a gallon, which is lower than the national average. And our groceries tend to run 19% less expensive than the national averages. Our healthcare, which is phenomenal with our Avera and Sanford connections, is ranking 25th nationally for access and affordability. And in the city of Sioux Falls, it's even better because we have a lot of rural communities that have a little harder access to the healthcare. We're very fortunate here in Sioux Falls. And here's something that matters. If you're starting a family, looking to start a family, or want to grow your family, our fertility rate here in South Dakota is much higher. And why that matters is people here actually feel like they can afford to have a family of more than maybe 1 or 2 children. The reason for that is we have access to amazing healthcare, we have affordable housing, we have affordable daycare, and things are available at your fingertips as a young family that you don't see in other cities. Another fact that I love here in South Dakota is that we have phenomenal school districts. No matter where you are in the state of South Dakota, you know that your child is going to get great education because that is a main focus for us here in South Dakota. In fact, our 2-year college graduation rate is #1 in the country, and high school completion is around 93%. That's wild. But that's not all. There's something that you can't measure with numbers and stats, and that is our Midwest nice culture. And I know that sounds like a bunch of hooey, but even though Sioux Falls is definitely a growing community, I feel like it's kept its small town charm. Whenever I go out to the grocery store, I can always run into people I know. People are very friendly, they smile, they stop and have conversation, which is awesome, except for when I want to go to the grocery store quick in my pajamas and my baseball hat and don't want to be seen by anyone. If you're coming from a larger city, something that will probably make you laugh is how much the locals complain about traffic. Going from a bigger city to Sioux Falls, it is a crazy different story. And yes, our traffic is a little heavier between 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock when you're taking the kids to school and 5 till 6 when you're getting off work. But most times you can get almost from one side of our city to the other in less than 30 minutes. So don't believe what you hear from the locals. The traffic is nothing compared to a big city. Another perk about South Dakota is that we are very fiscally responsible. And what that means is that we are very solid when it comes to our government and backing. We're very lucky here in Sioux Falls to have a government that supports us locally and really wants the best for our city and our growth. And we've been very fortunate that our government on a state level is very focused on healthcare, education, and making sure that we keep South Dakota in a great place where people still want to move here. So let me tell you a little personal story about a client that I helped relocate here from Minnesota. They had a son who had already come to South Dakota for school and had landed here, started a family, so they knew that they wanted to be closer to them. But one of the main appeals to South Dakota is that they were approaching their retirement age. And when they looked at what taxes would look like in Minnesota versus South Dakota, it was a no-brainer move. They also felt like when they came to South Dakota and we started looking at homes, that even though they thought they wanted to downsize into something smaller, they could truly afford more of a home here in South Dakota than they thought. They bought a single-family home here for $600,000 where they could entertain and host all of their family. So it was big enough, it had a great backyard space, 3-car garage, and they truly felt like this was where they were meant to be to enjoy their retirement retirement years. So my couple from Minnesota, we actually sat down after the fact and did the math on what they would be saving as a resident here in South Dakota. We looked at the state income tax, and for them, it was over $10,000 a year that they would be saving for that. And then when they estimated cost of living comparatively to when they were living right outside the cities in Minnesota, they were also saving about $10,000. So that's $20,000 a year, which is wild to me. When you look at the numbers, I can see clearly why people want to move to South Dakota. Now, it wouldn't be fair to talk about just South Dakota's benefits of moving here without talking about some of the challenges. And I'll be honest, our winters here are a little brutal. We definitely get snow and below zero temperatures from time to time. You're going to want to shovel and you're going to have to be hardy to get through our winters. But our springs and our summers and also our fall are beautiful seasons. So you get all four here. Another challenge would be if you are living in a big city and you're used to big concerts and venues and the big city lifestyle, South Dakota is going to feel very calm and you're going to miss some of your favorites. Like, we don't have a Trader Joe's yet, and apparently that's a big thing. So overall, our migration here has slowed from its peak of 2020 and 2021. But what I see that is our market is finally stabilizing, and that actually is a benefit to you. If you're looking to move to South Dakota and purchase a home, you don't have a ton of other buyers to compete with. Right now, we are sitting in somewhat of a buyer's market. So you may be able to get in early, get a little bit of space, and even get a deal. Don't forget, I have my relocation guide linked in the description below that you can grab. We also have access to calculators. So if you want to know the exact numbers of what it looks like from where you're living with taxes versus living in a non-income state tax, I'd love to break down the math for you. In the video I have linked here, you'll be able to check out Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and the surrounding community where you can find the exact perfect spot to call home.